And this is Clay. Today we're going to break down a new manga. It is
One Piece.
And as I admitted before, I'm not very much an expert on manga or anime, but I have read the Wikipedia entry on One Piece. So now I'm an expert on One Piece. Well, maybe not, but I did read the introduction in the section we're about to read today, and we'll see if we can learn a little bit in Japanese. What is One Piece? So the introduction, which we're not going to cover, talks about Luffy. Luffy is the name of the boy, now the young man, but as a boy, and he wants to be a pirate. But what happened in the introduction?
海賊王という人がいまして、海賊の王様
Pirate
ね。
King.
そう、海賊の王様が、捕まって死ぬときに自分の財宝をみんなにあげちゃう。見つけなさいと言って死んだ。
He was executed. A treasure that he challenges people to go find, and I believe this is what is called One Piece, isn't it? Or do you
と
know?
思いま
I
す。
think Wikipedia said that this was called One Piece. So, but anyway, so the pirate is executed, and then we shift to Luffy. Monkey, what's his name?
モンキー D. ルフィ。
Monkey D. Luffy. And what happens?
その子はゴムゴムの実っていうのを食べちゃって体がゴムみたいに伸びる体になって
So he becomes the elastic kid, where he can he
そう
moves.
そうそう手がニューって伸びるでただ泳げなくなっちゃ
And that's not very useful if you're a pirate.
う
The pirates have to swim well. As a child, he didn't know how to swim.
うん
But it also said that if you eat this, was it gomu
ゴ
gomu?
ムゴムの
Gomu 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 no mi. Gomu gomu no mi. If you
Gomu
eat
gomu
this
no
special
mi.
treasure, this fruit, then you will never be able to swim. But he wants to be a pirate on the seas.
そうそれで山賊と海賊が山賊とルフィが喧嘩をした時にその海賊の頭が助けてくれたのね
All right, and this is his hero. But we should mention, what's the difference between a sanzoku and a kaizoku?
山賊は山というか海じゃないところこう土の上普通の町とか山の中とか、そういうところにいて、人のものを盗んだりとか襲ったりする悪い人
So like a mountain bandit or a bandit on the highwayman or something. And so the sun is actually Yama, and Kai is Umi. So still both Zoku, but
Zoku.
one is mountain bandit or mountain pirate, and the other is ocean pirate, so pirate.
そうですそしてその海賊の友達っていうか頭に助けてもらった時にその人は海の主にこの海のモンスターに腕を食べられちゃう
So this big fish monster eats his mentor's arm. And then suddenly, we're 10 years later. Are we ready for that?
はい
Okay, so 10 years later, and this is where the story really picks up. Go.
10年後ドン
Don. So the don, it just opens 10 years later.
とうとう行っちゃいましたね村長寂しくなるわ
Now this, we didn't mention her, but she's the bartender and a good friend to Luffy and also the pirate, his mentor, who did leave a couple of years prior to it, I guess. So Toto finally, or after a long time, so it's been expected that he would leave, that Luffy would leave, but she says Toto. Now, 行っちゃいました、行ってしまいました it's an abbreviated form. So he's finally gone. Son Cho is the village chief. And he's kind of dressed like a beach bum, but he's the village chief. 寂しく and 寂しく
同じです
Okay, so they're the same. I'm sad, or I will miss him. 寂しくなる Naru implies that from now and then she'll continue to miss him sadness. Right?
村の恥じゃ海賊になろうなんぞ
So Mura no Haji, so the shame of the village. I guess it's talking about Luffy what shame that he's brought upon the village. Nanzo, nante nanzo. Such a thing as becoming a pirate. It's the shame of the village.
そうです本気で行っちまうとはな
Now this are his friends. They're saying, oh, he really left. 本気で with he really
行っちまうは行ってしまう。
He really left. They always thought he was kidding. Maybe he was always saying, I'm going to be a pirate one day. But he actually did leave. All right.
プープー。
Sound of the birds.
いやー、今日は船出日和だな。ぎっこぎっこ。
So ya is Luffy just kind of relaxing and enjoying the day. And he says, 今日は, as for today, Funade. Funade is the boat going out, so the sailing. And Biori is a good weather. It's good weather for sailing. So it's a good weather for sailing. And Gikko,
こ
what
れ
is
は
that?
船を漕いでいる音と思います。
With the
オ
row,
ール
with the
で、
oars.
オールで漕いでいる音と思います。
Okay.
ぐるるるザバーは。
And here's the monster that ate his mentor's arm.
出たか、金塊の主。相手が悪かったな。
Deitaka, you appeared finally. You've come. Kinkai, that's nearby ocean or maybe near the shore or the surrounding area, but not deep into the ocean. Oki, I guess Okinawa no Oki would
大きい
be
じゃないね。
would
大き
be
いじゃなく
farther
て
out. So Kinkai no Nushi, Kinkai no Nushi. So the lord of the nearby seas.
ニアバイシーズでいいと思う。
Okay.
相手が悪かったな。そう。自分が相手だから運が悪かったなってこと。
To the fish. So the fish, you're unlucky because your opponent, meaning me, is too strong. So too bad for you.
さ
You got this opponent. So he's kind of like bragging here.
10年鍛えた俺の技を見ろ。
Junen. So for 10 years, kitaete, he's been training. Now, is this physical or can this also be mental training too?
でもこの場合は体を鍛えたってことだね。
He's been working out and trying to get stronger. Ore no waza miro. So my waza is a like trick or skill or my skill. So look at my skill. What skill I have after 10 years of training.
がゴムゴムの
So the gomu gomu is the same as the gomu gomu no mi.
ゴムゴムの実。
Okay, so the gomu gomu no mi is the fruit that he ate that enabled him to elastic powers. Gomu gomu, just in Japanese, that means kind of an elastic.
ゴムがね。
ゴム
が、伸びるゴム。
Just like gum.
ピストルズドーン。
Boom. This is a pistol punch. He had mentioned earlier in the introduction that his punch, he was so strong, his punch was like a pistol. And his mentor said that that's not much.
いや、その時はまだちっちゃかったからね。
But
弱かったの。
now his pistol punch is very strong.
バチン。
That's the sound of his arm coming back into position.
さ、思い知ったか、魚目。ザパン。
Amoe shitaka. Do you realize it or do you understand now? Or finally do you understand? So you understand my power, I guess, or my strength. You should respect me. Sakaname. So the me here is a very rude way of calling an enemy or belittling someone.
そうね。バカ目とか。
Bakame. Nekome.
猫目も悪いことしてる
Yeah,
猫に
when
は
the
使う
cat
か
does
な。
bad things, she's a nekome.
はい、まずは仲間集めだ。ぐるぐる。10人は欲しいな。
Mazua. First and foremost, nakama, companions, or in this case, I guess his crew, atsume. So the gathering, the collecting or finding of his crew. Junin wa, I want 10 people.
そして海賊機。
Soshite, and then a kaizoku pirate ki is flag. So pirate flag.
よっしゃ、行くぞ。
Yosha. So he's excited. He's ready to go. And ikuzo means I'm gonna do it. Let's go.
海賊王に俺はなる。ドーン。
Pirate king, I will become. So this is kind of an inverse way of saying it. Normally you would say ore wa kaizoku o ni naru.
そう。
So it's kind of like mixing up the language. But one reason why we we can do this in Japanese is because of the particles. We have the ni and the wa, so we know who the topic is and what he will become. Ni naru, the pirate king.
まだ見ぬ彼の仲間たちを巻き込まんと小さな船は海を行く。
So this is more of a literature writing style type of Japanese. So mada minu, not seen yet. So minu is the same as minai. Right?
Minai.
It's a negative ender, but it's very kind of classical, maybe like Shakespearean, if you would, in English. Kare no nakama tachi. So his companions. So not yet. He hasn't seen his companions or found his companions yet. Maki koman. Koman.
巻き込もうと
Okay, so he still haven't got them together.
小さな船は海を行く。
And in his small boat, he will go on the sea.
かくして大いなる旅は始まったのだ。
Kakushite.
こうして
Koshite. In such a way. Koshite. Oinaru. A grand or great tabi trip or travel. Wa hajimatta. Has begun. Noda. Noda is for explaining. So he's begun his grand trip. So I hope you enjoyed this first little look at One Piece, and we will have to learn, read more, and maybe watch the anime because we have no idea what's going to happen on the next page. We haven't looked that far. Let us know if you have any questions in the comments below, and we appreciate it. Thank you. Bye bye.
バイバイ。